Hello friends, how are we? Welcome back. I know, a second YouTube video. Oh, who is she? Oh, who is she? And we are in my new apartment that I moved to back in September. Welcome. That is my boyfriend's gaming setup. Behind me have my bookshelf and all of the things. Let's just get straight into it, honestly. Why delay the inevitable? What are we here for? This. So, what we're talking about today is movies. And at the beginning of this year, I challenged myself. One of my personal, very kind of silly, but it is a personal goal of mine, was to watch one movie a week this year. And so, if you know how the calendar works, that's about 52 movies. And, 52 movies really isn't, like, the most amazing amount of movies that to ever watch in the history of ever. Like, it's really like, we only watched 52. But, like, okay. Hey, I watched, like, 20-something last year. Maybe 40? I don't know. I just, like, sometimes I have a hard time forcing myself to sit down and watch a movie because, like, the thought of being like, oh my god, I'm spending 2 hours on this. Like, maybe I shouldn't. Anyways, I love watching movies. I love going to the movies. I love experiencing movies. I love art, I love consuming media, I am a self-proclaimed everything enjoyer, so trying to watch 52 movies in a year really was like, okay, but like, could I do it though? And now, hey, I'm recording this. I started writing this script at the beginning of December because I hit 52 movies at the beginning of December, so obviously it went way better than I originally planned. I wanted to do a nice little breakdown. I wrote a script, guys. It's really long. So I've broken down all the movies I watched this year into certain categories. And so we're just gonna slowly go through this video with each category, and then that'll encapsulate all the movies I've watched this year. So I'm gonna start off with a category that I have labeled movies that came out in 2025. And so all of the movies that came out this year in 2025 that I have seen are Companion, Mickey 17, Sinners, The Phoenician Scheme, Superman, F1, Weapons, Chainsaw Man, Frankenstein, Begonia, Final Destination Bloodlines, FNAF 2, and I watched Wake Up Dead Man over last weekend. So that is my full list of all the 2025 releases that I have watched this year. I thought I would break it down into, like, my favorites and least favorites, which is, like, pretty much every movie that came out this year I have really loved. I want you to know, I rate most things 3 to 4 stars, and then, like, really good things 5 stars, but even then I rate a lot of things 5 stars. I simply just enjoy. I go into most things completely blind. I go into most things without any expectations, and then if I have a good time, it's going above 3 stars. I'm sorry, and that's just my truth. And that's just the way that I am. My heart is so pure and my soul is so open, and I just love art. We're gonna start with my least favorites, and then I'll talk about my favorites, just so that, negative first and then happy. I don't know, guys. It's just how I wrote the fucking scripts. I don't know! Why am I yelling? Okay. The list of 2025 releases is really good, and they were all really good movies. But I chose 2 bottom ones, and I chose the Formula 1 movie, and I chose Companion. I'll start with the Formula 1 movie because I actually got really into Formula 1 this year. I have a favorite driver now. I love you, Oscar Piastri. I have a favorite driver. I was emotionally invested in the World Drivers' Cup. I have learned a lot about the sport watching it with my boyfriend. And so on and so forth. We saw the movie when it came out in movie theaters. And that movie it's not like objectively terrible. It's just like not very good. And the storytelling is like just okay. And the romance plotline is like kind of bad. And it kind of just like appears. As an avid fantasy romance reader, if you have a bad romance plotline, I'm gonna have something to say about it, okay? I am, and that's just the way that I am. And the romance plotline in that was like low-key bad. Besides the point, it was just okay. It was not realistic to like the sport in any capacity, which like I don't really expect a sports movie to be, but like if they pulled half the shit that they did in that movie, that entire team would be like banned forever. But like it's a fun watch, and I didn't have like any objective issues with it. And then Companion is my other one, and I, once again, don't think Companion is a bad movie. I think that Companion's actually biggest problem was the way that it was marketed. Because it should not have given away that she was a robot in the trailers. Because, like, I wish that was a spoiler. I wish it was a spoiler that she's a robot, because it should be. Because I know that they give it away within, like, I think the first, like, 20 minutes of the movie. 20 to 30. But here's the thing. When the movie starts, we're watching the movie from her perspective, and she does not know that she's a robot, you know? And so then when they do the reveal, it's way less, like, emotionally jarring or, like, pulling to me, because it's like, well, I already knew. They told me in the fucking trailer. And they should have edited the trailer in such a way in which, like, you can still see the parts where she's, like, kind of bloody, and she's kind of like, ooh, it's, like, kind of horror-y, and something scary is happening, but not give away that she's a robot. Because the fact that they put in the scene at the end of the movie where she puts her hand over the candle, and it's, like, burning her flesh, and, like, she's, like, dripping, you know, the fake flesh that she has, because she's, I don't know, a robot! It's just one of those things where it's like, why would you put that in the movie trailer? It's, like, in the last 20 minutes of the movie, and contributes once again to the whole she's a robot narrative. Like, why would you tell me that? That was my biggest problem, and I think that it was just kind of meh. You know, for a horror movie, it's like fine. I don't know. I didn't have anything really pro it. I didn't have anything really against it. That's my entire synopsis of that. Moving on, though, to my favorites of the year. This category is stacked. Once again, these are some really, really good movies. So, my actual full 3 favorites, because I had to narrow it down to just 3, is Sinners, Begonia, and Frankenstein. And then my honorable mentions are the FNAF 2 movie, the Bloodlines movie, and I am going to now throw in, what the fuck is it called? Wake Up Dead Man. Wake Up Dead Man, I'm gonna start with that actually, because I think it's my favorite Glass Onion movie. I watched it, and we were sitting there, and I was like, this is the best one. This is the best one. And I think it's really good, and I think that everyone's motives are really interesting, and I think that it's a very captivating story, but it also has, like, beautiful elements to it. Besides the point, FNAF 2 and Bloodlines both of them fall into the same category of that's not a good movie. Like, neither one of them are objectively very good movies. However, I think for fans of the franchise, they are phenomenal. FNAF 2 has, like, really great story hits in terms of, like, the lore, and everyone's problem that doesn't know anything about the FNAF games is, like, the lore makes no sense, and the storytelling is bad, and it's like, we have been suffering through this since 2012? Scott Cawthon sucks at telling stories. We have to stop letting him do it. And he writes the script, so, like, of course it's bad. But, like, you know, anyone that hasn't been suffering in the FNAF fandom for over 10 years, like, just doesn't know that. And, like, I don't blame them. But, like, I thought it was phenomenal. And the Bloodlines movie it's actually, I mean, it's pretty good. But, like, the ending is absolutely terrible. It's so camp. But, like, if you've seen the rest of the movies, it's just, like, the best nod ever, and it's really fun, and it feels very much like a series closer, like, we're, like, here was our last hurrah, you got some crazy shit, we're out, peace, you know what I mean? And I think that that's all it really needed to be, and it was, like, that's why it was perfect to me. Going into my favorite movies of the year, I'm actually going to start with Frankenstein, because Frankenstein was a grower, not a shower, if you will. Not to be an insane person. When I finished watching Frankenstein, I was like, I don't really know how I felt about that. I thought it was good. When I read Frankenstein, mind you, I was in high school, and I didn't actually finish it. And I had a really, 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 really hard time, like, understanding anything that was happening in it. I didn't really like it. But I remembered a lot of the major story beats of it. Like, seeing it hit all those story beats, I was like, okay, this is good. And Jacob Elordi's acting in it is just, oh my god, phenomenal. Like, I think that the only things I've ever seen Jacob Elordi in is, like, The Kissing Booth and Saltburn, which is just, like, crazy, because it's, like, the creature is so, like, different from anything else that I've seen him act in, and it was just one of the most amazing performances I've, like, ever seen. He's so expressive, and just, oh my god, like, I have, like, endless amounts of praise for it, and, like, Oscar Isaac sucks so, like, his character sucks so bad, and he's so good at it, and Mia Goth is phenomenal, and it's just, like, that, oh, and it's beautiful. That movie, like, once again, I finished watching the movie and I was like, I just don't really know how I feel about this, other than Jacob Elordi being amazing. I sat on it and I was reading a few posts about it, and it's one of those things that, like, the longer I think about it, the more I'm like, no, that was one of the best movies I think I've ever seen. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that ever, is like, if you have to brew on something. There's nothing wrong with brewing a little bit. You know, sometimes you just have to, like, mull it over and kind of turn it around in your hand a little bit. My next one I want to talk about is Begonia. I don't want to give anything away about this movie. Simply just go watch it. If you haven't seen it, just go watch it. Emma Stone is phenomenal once again. The other guy, oh my gosh, I can't think of his name right now. Hold on, let me just Google it really fast. Jesse Plemons. Jesse Plemons is absolutely phenomenal. And it's one of those movies that, like, is constantly shocking, and I did not know ever for a singular moment where it was going. I did not know. And I think that that's what truly makes it so good, is that, like, I didn't know where it was going, and I didn't really want to. I didn't even want to sit there and try and guess, because every single time that I thought that I knew what was going on, it fucking, like, spun me around really fast. It was like, it's fine. It's so fun. You're kind of sitting there, like, the whole time, and it's awesome. I really don't want to talk about it too much, just because I simply think it's worth going to go see, and I think it's super underrated. I haven't seen anyone talk about it, like, that much online and stuff. And last but not least, I'm going to talk about Sinners. I don't think it's to anyone's surprise that I love Sinners as much as I do. When Nosferatu came out last year, and I lost my fucking mind over it, and I have since read so many vampire books and gotten super heavy into, like, vampire media. I love this movie. We actually rewatched it last night, and when I tell you the last, like, third of the movie, there were tears in my eyes. I just think it's, like, so, like, profoundly beautiful. I don't know. It's so sad. Like, Sinners is so sad. Like, when you sit there and you think about it, that movie is just so sad. But it's so beautifully done, and the vampire lore is really cool, and it's really good, and you also kind of feel good at the end anyways, and it's just like, ugh. It's so good. I think that no matter what, it's going to be my favorite movie this year. It's just, phenomenal. I think it's one of those movies that's going to, like, go into my rewatch roster, because we'll talk about that later, but I rewatch a lot of movies. That's kind of my gist for movies this year. The next one I want to talk about is book adaptations, because there's a lot, and specifically one series, which is right here. But you can't tell, because I have my fancy camera out, and her focus is really good. But the whole list is technically kind of Nosferatu, Mickey 17, the Dune movies, the Hunger Games movies, which includes The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, Howl's Moving Castle, I think Fantastic Mr. Fox is also a book, Chainsaw Man, obviously, Frankenstein, obviously, and How the Grinch Stole Christmas, which is, like, Dr. Seuss. Specifically, I want to focus in on the things that I have read. And now, Nosferatu, I'm kind of counting. As you can see right here, actually, I have a copy of Dracula. I have been reading it since May, and I still haven't finished it. My goal is to finish it by the end of the year, but I don't really want to talk too much about Nosferatu in this, because I technically haven't finished Dracula, so I don't really have a lot of comparisons to make quite yet. I really specifically want to hone in on the Hunger Games movies in this section, because I didn't read the book for Mickey 17, I haven't read the Dune books yet, I've never read Howl's Moving Castle, but once again, I really want to. I did not read Chainsaw Man, but I did read Frankenstein. Anyways. The Hunger Games! I actually only watched Catching Fire, and then the 2 Mockingjay movies, and then the Songbirds and Snakes. I don't really know why specifically we started with Catching Fire. I think it was because I finished the book, and I was like, Michael, we have to watch Catching Fire, like, that movie is so good. But then when I finished Mockingjay, we were like, well, we might as well just keep watching the movies. And then I read The Songbirds and Snakes, and then I was like, we have to watch the movie. Because duh. I don't want to delve too much into the books aspect of this. I am going to most likely make some sort of reading wrap-up video. So the books part is not specifically what I want to talk about the most, but specifically the book to movie aspect of these, right? Catching Fire is so awesome. It's like even better after you read the book, because I read the book a billion years ago. I did not remember the nuances and like the differences between the two, but I've seen the Catching Fire movie so many times in my life, and I was reading it and I was like, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit, because It is one of the most accurate books to movies to books to movies I've ever seen in my entire life, and it's that's where I'm at with it. I mean, like, there's not even like a whole lot to say about it. They've pretty much followed every single moment beat to beat. I think that my biggest gripe with the movie to book adaptation specifically comes in with Mockingjay and adding in this like really weird snow plot line, because like, and I'm not going to be spoiler free for this, guys. It's been like over 10 years. I don't know. You're out of the span. If you get mad at me, I'm sorry. I'm gonna talk about basically everything. I'll be a little bit more forgiving with the Songbirds and Snakes, but not the core series. But in the Mockingjay movies, first of all, there didn't need to be two of them. There didn't need to be two. That book is not any longer than Catching Fire, and Catching Fire hits all the correct beats, and it takes all the important parts in it, and it doesn't add anything that isn't needed to it. And that's my biggest gripe with fucking Mockingjay, is it's like, you don't need a snow plot line. You don't need one. And like, they didn't know that The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes was going to come out, but like, I don't want to, and I don't need to gain any empathy for President Snow. I think that in like the first and second movies, when they were kind of just like giving perspective to him giving orders, that's like one thing, because it's like, you know, in a movie you don't want just one perspective. I think like adding things like that in is like minute and small, and like obviously you're watching it. There's like whole scenes that are just like added with snow that are really just not needed, and I just think that they're kind of a waste of time when you also end up taking away some really important parts and some of my favorite parts about Mockingjay, which is like a lot of the things that are happening inside of the Capitol with like the mutts and the mutations and all that other shit, and a lot of like showing how cruel he is to his own citizens while they are inside of the city and like trying to, you know, get their job done to revolution and all the nonsense. You miss out on like a good few of the traps that he set for his own people to go off. And it's like, in the movie you get to see like the part with Prim and the bombs, but like you don't see anything else. And in the books, it's just so obvious how little he cares about his own citizens. It's just, I feel like in the movies, they almost take that part away to like focus on other things. And I also don't really love Plutarch's characterization after reading the book, because I think that in the book, he is a really important like perspective to have. Like, him and his crew are this group of people who have like voluntarily left the capital and are having to actively experience like all of the oppression that the districts experience all the time forever, like just by being in 13. It's one of those things that I think that taking away that perspective from Plutarch is just kind of a choice that I didn't really love. And I know that they kind of put it into Effie, but Effie's not really there, and I know that she's kind of just there because, like, she's a fan favorite, and I loved having Effie there, but I just don't know why you can't have both of them doing it at the same time. Like, I feel like taking away kind of the prep team, like, if you're not going to make the prep team as important in the movies as they are in the books, which is totally fine, because they're side characters, they're just not, like, the most important things to the plot ever. But if you're going to take them away and make them as unimportant as they are in the movies, why not give Plutarch a little bit of his, like, capitalness back? Because I feel like in the movie, he doesn't feel like he's from the capital. And that's, like, such an important part of his characterization in the books, and I just feel like it lends itself to a certain perspective that you're missing out in the movies. I do have, unfortunately, a lot more negative things to say about The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I do think that, like, I think it could have been 2 movies, because I feel like that there's 2 really distinct parts of the book. There's the part where he's prepping her for the games, and there's the part in which that is after the games. Like, that is so, like, it almost makes me so mad, because I feel like that story is just so good, but, like, it was literally, like, so perfect to split it into 2 movies, and then they just put it into 1, and it's like, whatever. I think that a lot of the nuance of their relationship that builds before the games is missed out on due to, like, the timing and all of that in terms of the movie, and I think that kind of skipping through their romance makes the ending hit a little less well, if that makes any sense. And I'm trying to talk about this, like, kind of vaguely, because I don't really want to give, like, this book and this movie aren't that old, so I don't really want to give too much away. but I just feel like there's a lot of details into how gruesome he can be, how little he truly has apathy for, like, or sorry, not apathy. He has apathy. How truly he lacks empathy for the people around him and, like, perspective. He is so, like, self-centered and self-driven in a way in which it's just like, I don't know, I feel like the movie can only do so well because you cannot hear his internal monologue. It's really tough to, like, hate his character as bad. Obviously, you're experiencing some of the terrible things that he does, but I think some of the nuance of it is there's not as much of, like, a push-pull that you get with certain characters, because there's moments in the book where he's, like, really nice to a character one moment, and then, like, a few pages later, he's like, that guy's a piece of fucking shit and I hate him, for, like, no true reason. And I think that you just kind of miss out on a lot of that because, one, you don't have his internal monologue, and two, they had to cut so much out. Like, so much out. And I think that it just kind of sucks because of that. It's like a fine movie. Michael thought it was fine, and that's all that really matters at the end of the day. But I really, really think that it would have thrived much better if they had just made it into 2 movies, which, like, maybe is excessive in me being too much of a fan. However, I digress. We're gonna move on to the next section. The next category, which is going to be my rewatches of the year. Like I mentioned earlier, I love to rewatch a little movie, so this is all of my movies that I have seen more than once in general, but, like, rewatched again this year. Does that make any sense? I think so. Here's a list. Nosferatu, Mulan, Into the Spider-Verse, all of How to Train Your Dragon, Revenge of the Sith, all of the Hunger Games movies, Saw, the first one, Lisa Frankenstein, Fantastic Mr. Fox, Howl's Moving Castle, Megamind, Superman, Scream, Get Smart, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and Sinners is also on this list. I just love to rewatch, and God bless Letterboxd and their ability to tell me when I'm rewatching a movie, you know what I mean? So my 2 sides of this, I can't do, like, a favorite and least favorites of rewatches because I'm not rewatching something if I don't like it. Do you know what I mean? So we've split it into 2 much more cursed categories, we is me, which is emotional connection and brain rot. And I'm gonna start with the brain rot because it's easier. And that list is simply Nosferatu, Revenge of the Sith, Saw, Lisa Frankenstein, and Superman. So Superman was because, well, I watched it with my friend in movie theaters, loved it so much. I begged and begged and begged and begged and begged and begged and begged Michael to watch it with. And then finally one day he was like, we can watch it. And I was like, hell yeah. So that was good. I got to show my friends Lisa Frankenstein. I own it on DVD because, yes, I have a DVD collection. And that was so fun. Oh my gosh, it was so good. If you haven't seen Lisa Frankenstein, it's so funny. It's so good. It's just, like, suspend your disbelief. Go in looking for a good time. And it is just, it's so funny. It's so camp. I have too many praises for that fucking movie. It's so good. Saw, obviously, if you know anything about me, that is literally a piece of film from the movie that my friend got me for Christmas last year because I love Saw so much. I saw Saw for the first time on a teeny tiny little TV on my high school boyfriend's back porch that we watched, I think sometime around Halloween, because he just said, you'll like it, I think. And I said, I don't really know why you feel that way. I don't think I like horror movies. Lo and behold, I do. But hey, back then I didn't think I did. And we watched it and I was like, this might be the best movie of all time. And you know what? I was right. I love Saw. I watch Saw, like, every year. The first one at minimum. Revenge of the Sith obviously is on this list because when it's May the 4th, why aren't you watching Revenge of the Sith? You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? You just gonna have to. You just gonna have to. It's kind of built into the day. You watch a Star Wars movie, you're gonna watch the best Star Wars movie, you're watching Revenge of the Sith. And I'm not elaborating on that. That's my opinion. Yes, and it is. And then Nosferatu, obviously. Like I mentioned earlier, me and vampires have had the strongest bond this year. I love vampire media. I love that movie. I watched it, like, it's only logged twice on my Letterboxd, but I want y'all to know that I, as a true Letterboxd champion? I don't know what the word I'm trying to use is. A truther? I feel like if I'm not sitting down and giving a movie my full attention, it's not gonna go on my letterbox. Do you know what I mean? I've watched Nosferatu to fall asleep. I put it on the background when me and my friends are hanging out. Like, I've watched Nosferatu in so many different forms over the past year, but I've only watched it and sat down and focused on it twice. Which it's going to change as soon as I finish Dracula, but I'm not allowed to watch it again until I finish Dracula. So that's also a big reason why I haven't seen it again. I like the fucking movie. Alright, anyways, let's move on to the next category. I don't have anything else to say about that. Then we've got our emotional connection rewatches. I'm gonna preface this by saying all of these are animated, and I realized halfway through writing this script, I was like, holy shit, all of these are animated. So this list is Fantastic Mr. Fox, Howl's Moving Castle, Into the Spider-Verse, and How to Train Your Dragon. Fantastic Mr. Fox, cinema. That movie. I love all of these movies, obviously. Fantastic Mr. Fox is just... I am a Wes Anderson girl through and through. The animation is phenomenal, and it's just like, it warms my heart. I want a tattoo from it. I've loved it since like basically it came out. Like, it's just one of those movies that like, yeah, and if you're offering to watch Fantastic Mr. Fox with me, I am going to say yes, and I will never tell you no. And I just love it so much. And Howl's Moving Castle is much in the same, where like I only watched it for the first time like 5 years ago. I love Howl's. I think it's beautiful. I think it's really profound. I know that like the first time you watch it, it's really confusing. It can be confusing. I think it's just like a beautiful love story. I don't know. I don't want to talk about it too much. I just really love it. Like, I just have like such an emotional connection to it. And I love Sophie and I love Howl, and I think that both of their stories are very like interesting. I don't know. I feel like after a certain point, when you like love a movie so much, you almost don't have any words to talk about it because you have too many words. Like, I have too many things I want to say. But like, if I started really delving into this, like, we would be here for like a billion years. Into the Spider-Verse is on this list. Obviously, I love those movies. It's so good. It's so good, and I'm so spoiled because they always come out in June, so it's always around my birthday. There's a cat here. Say hi. Jesus, that's his tail. Anyways, I'm going to keep talking. Into the Spider-Verse, it's beautiful. It's awesome. The story, once again, phenomenal. The animation, chef's kiss. I really feel like Into the Spider-Verse proves how far animation has come and it can still go. Zeus, your tail, son. Thank you. The art in it is just so good. It's so interesting, and it's captivating, and it doesn't just feel like shitty 3D rotoscoping sometimes. You know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like we live in a day and age where like animation is not appreciated enough, and I think that Into the Spider-Verse really helps us reappreciate animation for what it is. I'm just gonna bring in How to Train Your Dragon into this as well. How to Train Your Dragon, the original series, is so good. I think that it's so sad. I really don't like that they made a live action remake of it, and that's my truth. And that's my truth as loving those movies since they came out. How to Train Your Dragon, the first one, is one of my favorite movies of all time. It's definitely on that list. It's like a comfort movie for me. I just think that it's really upsetting that when they were like, oh yeah, we're gonna come out with a live action How to Train Your Dragon movie, that like, I think the like original creator or director or something was like, this is how it was always meant to be. Like, the animation was just like a trial run. If you sit down and you watch those 3 movies in a row, you can see the amazing progression of animation within those movies. And it's just like, they are alone a testament to how far animation can come within just a few years. The first movie doesn't even look bad. I'm just saying that as like an understanding of perspective, you know what I mean? And it's just like the fact that they felt the need to I think that there should not be live action remakes. I just don't think that it's needed. They almost always also end up either doing exactly everything beat for beat or cutting things out that they didn't need to cut out. And it's like, why? If we're gonna do it beat for beat, why? The original movie already exists. But if we're cutting important things out, for why? It already exists in a perfect state because it is animated, so why do it again? It's like one thing when it's like, you know how like Cinderella has like a billion movies. There's a billion Cinderella type movies, but that's because that's like a trope. Almost at this point. Like, the Cinderella story is like a trope at this point that they're just doing. When they remake Dracula every X amount of years, and then when they remake Frankenstein every X amount of years, it's one thing to recreate a classic because you have access to newer technology and better makeup and, you know, more resources in a certain capacity, which I think is why things like Nosferatu and Frankenstein are really good, because they're taking these stories that have been told before, they have access to more things. Like, you have access to CGI now, and you have access to, like, better makeup now, and it's just like, that's what makes those remakes so good, is because they weren't originally animated, and you're not just like proving that you can animate something again. Like, because that's the same thing that happened with the fucking Lion King movies. They're just animated just in a different way, but you're calling it live action because they look more realistic this time, and it's just stupid. And I really shouldn't keep going on this. Like, I have let myself talk enough about this. That's not the point of this video. I understand that. Anyways, I'm gonna move on to the next section because if not, I will simply sit here and talk all day. So, the next category that we are going to be moving into are non-2025 releases that I haven't already talked about. And we're going to talk about my favorites and my least favorites. But the whole list is Megalopolis, Bones and All, Aliens, A Real Pain, Alien 3, Bottoms, Hotel Transylvania, Transformers 1, Final Destinations 1 through 3, Now You See Me, Land of the Lost, Barbie Fairytopia, Scream 3, Arrival, Kubo, and But I'm Not a Cheerleader. We'll start with my least favorite. So, the worst, and this is no shock to anyone, Megalopolis. Duh. Alien 3, I don't know if there's anything else. I think it's just those two that I did my least favorites for. Yeah, everything else is pretty good, actually. So, Megalopolis is like, ship is poop from a butt. It's like a poop from a butt machine, and they made a movie, and they were like, what if he pooped out of a butt and, like, made it into a movie? And, like, the storytelling isn't very good in it. The plotline isn't very good. I don't really remember a lot of what happened in it. It, like, looks kind of good sometimes, but also, like, there's really no, like, explanation how you get, like, anywhere in the story. Adam Driver's character, like, I think it's shot in the eye and then somehow just, like, is fine. Pretty sure that should kill you. Pretty sure your brain's back there and you should have maybe died or at least been in, like, some sort of coma, or, like, they just kind of put an eye patch on him and they're like, alright, keep going. Keep trucking. The fuck? Alien 3, yeah, is also on my lowest because Alien 3 sucks balls. We're, like, slowly watching all the Alien movies with one of our friends, and then we watched Alien 3 and then we never kept going. Which is, like, kind of fair enough. I don't really remember a whole lot from the movie other than it just kind of sucked. And I remember there's, like, a really bad romance plotline and, like, everyone's a man in it, and I was like, I just didn't really like it. I mean, like, Aliens, the second one is so good. It's just, like, 3 sucks so bad. Anyways, so the best movies are gonna be Bones and All, A Real Pain, and Bottoms. I'm gonna go backwards again. Bottoms, so good! So good! There are 2 lesbian movies on this list, and Bottoms takes the cake. And I think, and this is not a discredit to But I'm a Cheerleader. But I'm a Cheerleader is really good, and it's really, really fun, and it's so camp. XYZ, everything everyone's already said before. But Bottoms is so funny, and it's so good, and it's, like, one of the, like, best original comedy movies that has been made in this, like, era, and I think it's, like, so overshadowed. And I know there was, like, a really big, like, online fan base for it, like, when it came out, but I just don't think that even then people talk about it truly enough because it's just so good. It's so funny. The plot lines are great. I think that some of the characters are so phenomenal because, like, I feel like a lot of people are really scared to make their main character suck really bad. Like, one of the main characters suck really bad. And I think that there's nothing wrong with that. Make your main character suck a little bit. Like, that makes them interesting. Like, I don't have to like every main character that I come across. And that's fine, and I'm okay with that. And I think A Real Pain kind of does something really similar in terms of that, but I'll get into that in a minute. But Bottoms is so funny, and it's so good, and it's just, like, so unique. Like, it's kind of, I don't know. You know, everyone's like, it's like lesbian Fight Club, but I've never seen Fight Club, so, like, really, what do I know? But, like, it felt really unique to me. Yeah, so A Real Pain is also on this list. That movie is so good. And that once again comes into, like, sometimes one of the main characters just needs to suck a little bit. Jesse Eisenberg's character, like, sucks. It's just about these, like, cousins that, like, go and then they travel and they're trying to find, I think they're, like, grandmother's house, trying to find some attachment to their familial roots. And they kind of realize that while they think that they know each other, but since they've been growing apart, they don't know each other all that well, and maybe they never really knew each other as well as they thought that they did. And it kind of explores their relationship, past and present, kind of delves into the nuances of that, and also this trip that they're on. And I think it's really beautiful, and I really, really liked it, and it's really good, and I just really love it. And I think that it's kind of just worth watching. That one's really good. And then Bones and All. Oh Lord, guys, I love this movie. I love Bones and All. Oh my gosh, I think it's like, wow. I like have such hard eyes for that movie. I love it so dearly. I don't want to, like, give too much away. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it. I don't care. what you're into, you should watch it. It's really good. My quick synopsis, without spoiling too much and giving too much away, is it's a movie about cannibalism, but if it was like a compulsion, like it's something that these people cannot control, and this girl at the beginning of the movie kind of leaves her father behind. She decides to start traveling in the United States by herself to find her mother, who has the same compulsion that she does. And it's just beautiful, and Marin is an amazing character, and Timothée Chalamet's in it, and his character is also phenomenal. It is so good, and it's a really beautiful story, and it is a love story, but it has horror aspects to it, obviously, because there's like cannibalism. And I simply just don't want to give too much away, and I have been rambling a lot for this video, so I'm not going to delve too much into it, but you should watch it, and you should tell me what you think. Basically, if you take any of my movie recommendations from this video and then you watch them, I need you to come back here and comment and tell me how you felt about it, or else I will kill myself. No, I'm kind of just kidding. I want to know. Because like, I love when people love the things that I love. Does that make sense? Anyways, we're gonna move on to the last thing I want to talk about, which I have already gone over every single movie I have seen this year. So that was all 52 of them. Oh, 54, 52. I think it's actually 52 now, because I think that technically I wasn't at 52 movies when I wrote this, but that's because I watched Superman twice. Yeah, I'm up to 52 this year now, officially on my Letterboxd, but I have 54 diary entries this year because I rewatched Superman and Sinners. I'm going to talk about movies for next year I'm excited about, so that hopefully if we do this again next year, I'll get to tell you what I think of them. Yay! So, and then after we talk about this, I'll give you my top 5 movies of the year, but maybe you can guess them. Honestly, TBH, try guessing them right now. We'll talk about this, and then I'll tell you what they are. Here is my list. The Odyssey, which, like, I don't even feel like I need to explain that one. I'm really excited about The Odyssey. Sunrise on the Reaping, once again, it's right here. Phenomenal book. Really excited about it. The first trailer came out, and it looks so good already, so I'm really excited about it. Project Hail Mary, which I did also read this year. So good. It comes out in March. Listen to the audiobook, enjoy it, okay? That's all I have to say. And then we're gonna all go see it in March. Dune 3, I'm excited for. That's gonna be really good too. I'm going to try and read the Dune books in like next year. Supergirl I'm really excited about because I loved Superman and she looks so good. The first trailer for that also just came out and I'm really excited about it. The Super Mario Galaxy movie, duh. I loved the Mario movie when it came out last year. Oh my gosh. the Michael Jackson movie, I'll be there. I'll be sad. I love Michael Jackson. Musician biopic movies, I have kind of mixed feelings about, but the Michael Jackson movie would be really good because I really like him. Werewolf, Robert Eggers. He made he directed Nosferatu, so I will be there. The sun is setting, guys. It's getting dark in here. I look like I live in like a dark abyss right now. Let's see if I can move this at least just like a little bit closer to me right now. This is literally the last thing I have to talk about, which is my top 5 movies of the year. So, we're gonna do honorable mentions and then my official top 5, okay? So the honorable mentions are gonna be Saw, Habbles, Begonia, FNAF 2, and Phoenician Scheme, which I didn't really talk about, but it is the new Wes Anderson movie, and it is really good. But simply, it was the movies that came out in 2025 category was simply too stacked to even mention it until this moment. However, watch Phoenician Scheme. It is quite good, I promise. So, the official big top 5. Peachy Porches. Paunchy Pooches top 5 movies of 2025 are, we're gonna go over here and do it. Nosferatu, Bones and All, Sinners, Frankenstein, and that's my list. That's in no particular order. That's not in any, like, not one is better than the other. They're all just here. Okay, that's really all I had to talk about. This is so long. Thank you guys so much. I love you for just being here and for watching this. Once again, if you watched any of these movies and you want to talk about your opinions of them, please comment. I love talking about movies. I love talking about any media I consume, so please just tell me about it. I would love to have a discussion. If you, from this video, go and watch any of these movies, if you do not come back here and tell me your opinion after you go and you watch it, I'm going to come to your house and I'm going to find you, okay? So just remember that. So you better come back here and tell me what you think. But thank you so much for even just being here and wanting to watch this in any capacity. I really appreciate it. I love talking about media, and I really liked making my last YouTube video, so I'm here again. I love you very dearly. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you sometime soon, I hope. And I appreciate you for showing up in any way you can /want to. All right. Thank you so much. Bye, guys.